Hello, I am Meow1, and welcome to FSA Meow number 7. Soon we will have 10 FSA Meows. Can't believe it. But first we have a flopper reusable rocket version 7 static fire, in its stage to this time. This one is serial number 22, which will fly atop booster 4, and a few seconds away from ignition. Okay, so it should light soon, but I think it will go well. Before continuing, put your predictions for the static fire in the comments. Ignition. FIR V7 has now had one of the stages static fire. Of course it is going well so far. I wonder how it will preform in space. Stage 2 is aiming to be reusable now, since our tests with FLOPA interplanetary rocket V6 have gone well. Speaking of FIR, it will come up later in the video, so keep watching for that. FIR V7 uses a mix of liquid fuel, FLOPA propellant, liquid oxidizer, and liquid methane, which you can see all of them firing right now in the plume of stage 2. If you are wondering if there will be a version 8, maybe soon if Kitten Space Agency ends up being good, but otherwise this is the final version of FIR to be in Kerbal Space Program. But V7 is our latest generation technology, and after a long time, like 1 year, we have developed a program to automatically launch rockets. We are still working on the landing capability, but it will roll out with V7's first test flight. You see, right now we are testing the landing program during a static fire to see if it can work. Obviously we will move to simulation testing soon, and then hop testing. Speaking of, if you want to see that, also leave a comment. And while I am promoting the YouTube thing, like and subscribe too, if you like the video. Anyways, this static fire is very important and does actually mark a new step in the FSA. We are still going to do FIR V6 launches, since it is a much more fleshed out rocket. But it's been 1 year of the FSA. We are hoping for V7E's first launch to be as soon as it can be, which is January 2026. And now we have booster for the static fire. If this goes well, we will have the vehicles ready for launch, assuming stacking goes well, which you will also see later in the video. I don't know what order the clips are in, but it may be the next clip. But seems like the booster is static firing now. The booster just uses FLOPA propellant and liquid oxygen for its propellant mixture, so a bit simpler than stage 2's propellant system. Speaking of, if you watch the FLOPA space station module to stream or recap video, or both, you would know we redesigned the propellant loading system, which we did on purpose for V7. Increased speed was just a side effect. Of course, that is at FLOPA spaceport, so the testing facility, which is the one that these FSA Meows are recorded at, has been upgraded since the concept phase of FIR V7. We also skipped the propellant loading process for these videos, because it takes even longer here. Because we have more time than a launch, now we are going to speed this up, because this is taking longer than I thought. So we have some time. I am announcing the FLOPA space and development progress, which will include many new updates on the FSA. It will include a few Kerbal speaking, our next steps to Duna, and the interstellar travel we have been working on may be revealed then. I don't know about the last one, but it could be revealed then. But looks like normal testing of the booster, and now we can launch after stacking, a wet dress rehearsal, and during a launch window. And you see the 3 grid fins. We have cut the 4th grid fin for weight, so we are going to see how it will preform soon. Of course, we have hop tested and proved it can work. Alright, and now we have first static firing for its 5th flight test, which is very soon. We will be carrying the life support modules and base for Kerbals to soon land on. Which is exciting because we want to land by the end of the year. 2026 will just be expansion and stuff like that, as well as stuff that may be unveiled at the FSDC. And FIR is now static firing. Of course, next the WDR is next, where we will load in propellant and do the go no go pull, and then we will almost light the engines, but we won't until launch. Of course they are burning now, so FIR Flight 6 is next, which will carry the first Kerbals to Duna, supposedly. But if all goes well soon we will have Kerbals on more than one planet. Yes, we have Kerbals on the Mun and Minmus, but for research purposes, we may create a mining base though. That could fall through though. Don't quote me on that. After this we will probably do a few more of these. At 10 we may stop if views are as low KSP mod. Yes, you will be able to use Discovery like we do. Of course, it will not be as powerful as the actual 1.0, it will still be as fuel efficient as 1.0. So, coming soon to a KSP form near you. Alright, we have had shut down. Now it appears we are testing the landing legs and grid fins, both of which are required for the flight and landing back on turbine and Duna. This flight will feature the first reflown second stage and booster, although the booster has been reflown before, just ending in splashdown, which we hope to land this time. And now we have stacking of FIR V7, Booster 4, and second stage number 22, as well as preparations for launch. So stacking of these two marks the new era of reusability here at the FSA. We have spent a long time developing this, so we are glad it will soon launch, as well as debut the new FLAPA OS program that we made. Hopefully it will include landing by the time of launch. It is close though, 2 months. Of course there were some failures along the way to launch, but as long as it gets to orbit and one of the stages lands, it will be a successful launch. Of course our two primary goals are going to be a bit harder due to the new program. Of course, we have verified it works, but it can be unpredictable sometimes. Alright, we are attaching the hold down clamps to the booster to see how it will preform. But FIR V7 is the latest generation hardware. It includes Discovery 0.7, our newest generation of Discovery. Just 3 more versions until 1.0 is going to be flying. Our friends at FLAPA Studios are helping us make the engine. They also have another project called Project.exe. It will have its 0.1 release soon. I don't know if this audience will care for it, but it's the least we can do. I am sorry for the more than one promotion. Of course, we are not paid for this, but I am sorry for the more than one promotions. I just want people to know about it. But anyways, FIR V7 also has a new fairing system. Instead of a fairing that can extend as far as the sun, we have two sizes, normal and extended. Normal is what you see, extended is longer and a bit wider. Both are good sizes for payloads. It will limit our ability to launch certain payloads, but we have other rockets, such as Ford V5, which I know, where is it? It's coming back, soon. We are just preparing this rocket as best we can. But back on the topic of Ford, we are currently upgrading it to comply with modern technology standards. If you don't know what Ford is, it is our rapidly partially reusable launch vehicle, and has a supposed proposal for a reusable second stage like FIR or FIR V7. Alright, close to the end. If you made it this far into the video, thank you so much. FSA Meow number 8 will include more info on Ford, hopefully, maybe even being the star of the thingy, like FIR V7 was today. These FSA Meows do take a long time to make, from recording to editing to voiceovers. It takes a while, so I asked the community who likes them, I assume, if I should continue making these. Please do give me an answer, but we are just sorting out staging right now. Looks like we are done. I have been Meow1 and thanks for tuning into this FSA Meow. Bye.